Hey, it's Jason Rogers here, and in this video, we need to talk about cold calling owners of businesses and pieces of property. How do you do it? How do you get their attention? How do you get through to an owner? What do you say once you get the owner on the phone? We're going to talk about it, but first, let it be known that amid everything that's happening right now, I truly don't believe there could be a more valuable skill than that of cold outreach over the phone or in person. I really don't believe there's a more valuable skill right now than that. The ability to connect with somebody important, to move something forward that could be mutually advantageous for both you and the business owner. It's hugely important. It's hugely valuable when you get it right, because these baby boomers and silent generation individuals and these individuals from different generations, they own assets, pieces of property and businesses that cash flow hundreds of thousands, millions, multi-millions, and even tens and tens and tens of millions a year in profit. We're not talking sales, we're talking bottom line profit. There are businesses out there that you can buy, but you're never going to get there if you don't pick up the phone. Now, yes, there are on-market ways to find deals, but realistically, the true gems, in my opinion, generally, they're going to come off market. They're going to come from picking up the phone and doing the work that nobody else is willing to do. So how do we do it? First things first, usually a secretary is going to pick up the phone. I learned this when I was 15 making cold calls. Usually a secretary, whether you're calling on governments, businesses, or something in between, usually a secretary is going to answer the phone, or an assistant, or a representative, some name, whatever you want to call this individual, but they're going to pick up the phone. Hi, my name is so-and-so. Depending on exactly who you are and what you've built, you're going to introduce yourself, something to the effect of, hi, my name is so-and-so. I represent so-and-so firm, or I run so-and-so firm, what have you. I'm calling on behalf of this, or I'm looking to speak with so-and-so based on that, right? Generally, you need to know who you are and what your call to action is. But if you just say, hi, my name is Bob Smith. I'm looking to speak with John Jones. I represent an investment firm. Can you connect me to him? Right? If you speak like that, it's going to get awkward. You're not going to get anywhere. You need to have something that stands out, something that really connects with the other side. One of the best things I've ever learned, I actually learned it from my father, and it goes something like this. Essentially, when you get a secretary on the phone, what I'll usually say is something to the effect of, first of all, hi there, this is Wendy with blankety blank company. Hey there, Wendy, how are you doing today? I'll usually ask how they are, and I actually care, and I really focus on this individual. And I know that sounds a little woo-woo or zen, or, come on now, Jason, I'm trying to talk to the big hitter. Why are you asking about the secretary's day? For one, she's a human being, or he, doesn't matter. Guy, girl, transvestite, I don't care. It's a human being. I like to connect with human beings. I don't know about you, but I like to connect with human beings. Okay, so, hey, how are you doing, Wendy? How's your day going? Hey there, Rick, how you doing today? How are things going? Everything going well? Sincere, short, sweet. Usually people just will answer in a standard way, but 20% of the time, the Pareto principle, the 80-20 principle, right? 20 or so percent of the time, you'll get a unique answer. Oh, I'm having a great day. I closed a sale. Oh, things are great. It's my brother's birthday. Oh, even better yet, it's my birthday. We're twins. Whatever. 20% of the time, you're going to get something extraordinary, something unusual. In that situation, I'll engage it. I'll basically talk about it for a minute, because you're starting to build rapport, and rapport matters. Rapport moves things forward. Rapport is like putting oil in the pan before you cook, right? It's WD-40. It's putting oil in your engine. It just lubricates things, very bluntly. So if you have that engagement opportunity, explore it, have fun with it, joke with it, enjoy it, play with it. Really dive into you just connecting with a human being for a second or two. And once that runs its course, and it will, if it does at all, here's the line. Perhaps you could help me. Hey there, Rick. Perhaps you could help me out here. Hey there, Wendy. Perhaps you could give me a hand here. You ask for help. a very counterintuitive thing to do. You think, I'm going to cold call and I'm going to assert myself, and my name is Big Dog Rogers, and I'm calling from ABC Corp. Looking to speak with the boss. Put him through now. Right? You feel like that's the way you communicate. Show yourself. Pick up the phone, tell them who you are, tell them who you want to talk to, and watch them bend the knee to it, right? That's, I think, for some of us men, an approach that we feel would work if we could do it. I believe the much better way is to ask for help. The very opposite. The very opposite of domineering, which the very, I'm up here, you're here, put me through. That attitude, a secretary can hang up on you. Never forget that. And of course, if you've picked up the phone, you know that. You know that very well, because cold calling is not a game that happens with just one call and immediately viola. No, usually it takes time. So you ask for help. Perhaps you could give me a hand. I'm looking to speak with so-and-so. My name is, if you haven't introduced yourself by now, right? So perhaps you said, hey there, Sarah, how are you doing today? How's your day going? She tells you a little bit about her day. Great. Perhaps you could give me a hand here. And she's going to ask, how can I help you? You know, she has things to do, or he has things to do. Yeah, absolutely. Perhaps you could help me with this. My name is so-and-so. I'm the founder of so-and-so group. And I'm looking to speak with so-and-so in regards to a joint venture opportunity, a business opportunity, a confidential matter, an important topic, you know, something to that effect. Those are all fill in the blank words that say something that is up here in the echelon of confidentiality and significance. And it's you smoothly, I would say, basically telling the individual you're talking to at this moment that I'm not going to tell you the details, and you need to respect that. I'm asking you, help me respect that and put me through to this person of significance. I myself have an opportunity that is significant to share. That's almost what you're subcommunicating. Now, you could perhaps communicate that more or less verbatim to what I said, but really, when you can subcommunicate, that's actually the very best form of, I would say, both communication and sometimes leadership. But certainly, I would say communication is, so much of it is a subcommunication game. The words we say are, depending on the study you look at, 10, 15, 20% of the conversation. The majority is the subcommunication, the tone, the inflection, the emotion, the lack thereof, those other variables. And so that's why this works so well. Can you help me? Perhaps you could give me a hand here. Here's who I am. Here's what I'm doing. Here's what the call's in regards to. Here's who I'm looking to speak to. Please connect me with so-and-so if you wouldn't mind. You'll be surprised. People will do it because you took interest in them. You were sincere. You asked for their help, and people will give it to you. So what happens when you get on the phone? Well, assuming, of course, you're calling business owners because you're trying to get them to sell their business to you, I generally am fairly blunt. Hi there, so-and-so. My name is so-and-so. I represent so-and-so group. I wanted to ask you pretty bluntly, have you ever thought about selling? I've taken a keen interest in your business. Would love to know more if you're thinking about selling. Okay, if you're asking to buy their business, I would say that. If you're trying to sell them something, then get into your pitch, which you should have. You need to have your 30 to 60 second elevator pitch. Really, you should have, in my estimation, a 15-second pitch. That's like 2 to 3 sentences. You should have a 30-second pitch. You can fit 4 or 5 or 6 sentences in, depending on how long they are and how quickly you speak. And then you have your 60-second pitch, which is maybe, almost a little paragraph. But you got to get to the point. And if you're going to get that much language into those time slots, you need to be speaking. You're not going to take these long pauses and think about the way to say the words themselves. Some people have that real slow, paced out, charismatic way of communicating. And by all means, if you have it, that's the gift of gab in a slowed down sense. It works great. Usually cold calling is a little bit more up-tempo because when you're calling somebody between 9 to 5 during those core work hours, it's hustle time, it's make money time, it's go time, it's get stuff done time. So I personally, especially in those core hours of business, speak faster After hours, I slow things down. If I'm calling on a Saturday, I slow things down a good bit, especially for outbound. Now, if it's an internal call or if it's a negotiation, I don't change my cadence a bit. But again, you are in a sense courting a little bit when you call somebody who doesn't know you. A little bit of romance, I believe, goes a long way. It's again the WD-40. It's again the motor oil. It's the olive oil before you cook. That's my opinion. But in any event, that's the essence. Accept that. And here's a huge thing we have to hit on before we finish this video. The law of large numbers is the ultimate and really the only way to be successful with reaching out like this. The law of large numbers, meaning if you call once, don't expect it to go well. You call twice, same. Call 3 times, same. Call 25 times. Now maybe you might start getting a success or two under your belt. Do 150 calls before you expect any kind of significant result, which of course is going to demoralize half of you watching the video. But I figure at this point, we've been in the video a bit. Most of you hopefully recognize that success doesn't work like turning on a light switch. You actually have to perform over a sustained period of time. And when you pick up the phone a lot of things happen. 1, you get over your fear of rejection or your discomfort. 2, you learn skills that are related to picking up the phone and calling this specific type of person, a CEO at a marketing firm, a CEO at a contracting firm. I don't know, whoever you're reaching out to. Different personality, different cadence, different location within the globe. Right? There's so many different variables. You need to really learn the cadence of the cadence, right? It's the beat of the specific song. I can't talk about how to play every kind of song in the world if we're talking about playing the guitar here, right? I mean, there's classical, there's jazz, there's rock and roll, there's 80s rock, there's new, there's a lot of music. Same thing with calling business owners. I mean, are you Serbian? Are you calling a guy in Kentucky? Are you calling plumbing businesses? You calling new age tech firms in the Silicon Valley? I don't know. As you take more of these calls, as you make more of these calls, you're going to learn the cadence of the specific type of call you're placing. But then ultimately, too, the law of large numbers just gets things stacked in your favor. You place 500 calls in a week, and I guarantee you're going to have a lot of people calling you back. That's going to make you feel good. You know you have numbers on your side. It makes you feel more confident. It makes you feel more successful because really you're doing the work to be successful. You have people coming in. You have people showing interest. They're thinking about your marketing services. They're thinking about selling their business to you. Whatever you're looking for, they're thinking about it. They're engaging with it. Now you feel good. Now it comes through on the call. Now you're wearing a smile when you're picking up the phone and people respond to that. Even though that seems woo-woo, I can tell you from a guy who's placed thousands of calls that if you feel good, they're going to feel good about it. And if you feel like crap, the opposite, of course, is going to be true. They're going to feel pretty bad about it. Volume makes you feel good about yourself because it basically self-guarantees results. Yes, if you're smoother over the phone and more confident in your communication and you know your stuff, you're going to be better. It's going to take less calls to get more results. And if you're not as strong on the communication scale, more calls to get the same results that it would have taken somebody else in less calls. That's just simple reality. Don't try to run around that fact. Know who you are, know where you are, put in the work, be successful. That's it. That's it in a nutshell. If you liked the video, thumbs it up, subscribe to the channel for more business content, and by all means, share your comments below so that we can continue the conversation.